And for a moment there, I was ground down. I had my chin on my chest, infested surround sound, but I took a breath, I took a moment. No, the rest of this poem's dedicated to our closeness. The remainder of my fame is aimed at saving all the hopeless. I'm committed to this human face and focused. And now I'm lifted up, and now I'm lifting others with me. When my silence is serenity, is a sign I'm living simply, and I'm simply living in this complex world that we've been given. Yeah, and I salute the Amish and all the other life-affirming products of considering our tolerance for process. It's like a long conversation in which everyone's involved, like a deep breath before you make that phone call. It's like a solemn, sullen song that's been written and exists solely so some lungs can laugh only after in sadness they've sung along. So let's make a contract now, a contractual agreement that will only be what we really are. And if you're scarred, then let me see your scars. If you're lonely, I get lonely too, and I'm here to rest with you, or to wrestle you. If you need a vessel for the truth, I'll be a son of a bitch, or the father of our youth, but I'd rather just rest. Let's get arrested. Yeah, only time can test all this time that we've invested. If our settlement gets better in these 7 solemn days, I'll be a weatherman, predicting all this rain on faith that intuition is correct, or I'm supposed to be wrong. Like writing a song when the notes have a will of their own, or herding cats into a barn when they haven't heard reports that there's a storm on. Come on, I'm lifted up, and now I'm lifting others with me. When my silence is serenity, is a sign I'm living simply, and I'm simply living in this complex world that we've been given. Yeah. And I salute the Amish and all the other life-affirming products of considering our tolerance for process. It's like a long conversation in which everyone's involved, like a deep breath before you make that phone call. It's like a solemn, sullen song that's been written and exists solely so some lungs can laugh only after in sadness they've sung along. Yo, I'm saying maybe our sadness is a natural reaction to the sad state of living that's been so in fashion. This is Babylon and this is heaven on earth. And since the day of my birth, every breath has been work, and it's worth it. A solemn, sullen song is just a surface. It's a tool to be used for a purpose. Celebrating life, celebrating yearning, celebrating sadness, and our infinite capacity for learning how to be sad and joyful in the midst of all this mess. Learning how to love life and our faithlessness, learning how to love, yo, especially ourselves. Forgiveness is a practice that's essential to my health. Forgiveness is the difference between heaven and hell. That's not some afterlife shit, I'm talking now. Sometimes I distance myself because we're not living deeply, but there's nothing more shallow than alone. And that's the burden of vision. It's this gift I've been given, and it can help or it can hurt the world I know. And now this pit that I've lived in, self-indulgent and rigid, looked a whole lot different from below. And now my life on the surface is authentic. Its purpose is to be who I'm here to be and grow. And now I'm lifted up, and now I'm lifting others with me. When my silence is serenity, is a sign I'm living simply, and I'm simply living in this complex world that we've been given. Come on. And I salute the Amish and all the other life-affirming products of considering our tolerance for process. It's like a long conversation in which everyone's involved, like a deep breath before you make that phone call. It's like a solemn, sullen song that's been written and exists solely so some lungs can laugh only after in sadness they've sung along. Come on, sing along. I'm lifted up, and now I'm lifting others with me. When my silence is serenity, is a sign I'm living simply, and I'm simply living in this complex world that we've been given. Yeah. And I salute the Amish and all the other life-affirming products of considering our tolerance for process. It's like a long conversation in which everyone's involved, like a deep breath before you make that phone call. It's like a solemn Long conversation in which everyone's involved, like a deep breath before you make that phone call. It's like a solemn, sullen song that's been written and exists solely so some lungs can laugh only after in sadness they've sung along. So let's make a contract now. And when we disrobe, we let the light shine in. We strip off the stuff that was left from the lining. I'm not signing autographs cause I don't even have a name. I left it at the party in a pile with all my pain. And I'm trained to cover up, I'm trained to hide this shame. I'm trained in the fine art of trying to remain sane. In a world where judgment's passed, where people are condemned, we cover up our flaws long before we work on